The College Basketball Experience pregame show for Friday night, November the 8th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with that promo code TCESGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus up to $1,000. That is the Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college basketball, college football, and the NFL with Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And welcome everybody into the College Basketball Experience pregame show. Friday night happy hour is upon us, gentlemen. Thank God, another week in the books. Can't wait to, well, probably just drink and bet on sports and yell at the TV all weekend like every other American. College basketball, college football, great time of year. Can't wait to talk about all the action. But first off, I am Moneyline Mac, aka the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin.
It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Also known as Mac tonight over at the College Experience. A little late sip there for me. Caught in between reps there, guys. And joining us, the Pump Fake Pod. First up, you guys know him. He was on the other night, giving out winners left and right. He is CBB Nick. Nick, what's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. Excited. This is another huge slate, kind of like Monday. I'm real excited about it. There's a lot of good games, so let's make some money tonight.
That's the goal. And third man in the booth, he's making his pregame show debut, but he's been on the College Experience before. He is a.k.a. Stoolie Picks. Trevor, what is up, man?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, absolutely banger slate tonight. Excited to get into it.
Let's get into it, and a couple finals here early in the day. Shout out to NC Central for not getting it done for our triple lock last night. So, the triple locks in the standalone games always seem to not work out. So maybe I need to just start fading our own triple locks. But, hey, I have found system play, when you have a shitty afternoon, you usually have a great evening. So I'm looking forward to this evening. But let's get into this, and Stanford is closing in. They're up 22 despite being down 12 in the first half. Let's get into the 6:30 window because this game tips off in 26 minutes. That is the Austin P. Governors. Hello, Governor. Is going to Hinkle Fieldhouse to take on the Butler Bulldogs. Butler up to a 17-point favorite, 16.5 shop round, open at 14.5. I will lay it. I will lay it with Thad Mata and the Bulldogs. New group for Austin P. I locked this last night at 14.5. I still would lay it at 17. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I grabbed it last night at 14.5. They've up there. Like the whole team has been up since last season. Like adjusted efficiency, offensive rebounding, 3-point percentage, free throw, turnover, everything is good. Thad Mata, I think, is a really good coach, really good team. So yeah, I'm laying the points with you.
2 across, Trevor.
I am not going to. I would be on Austin P here if I was going to play it. Butler's got the crazy size advantage inside. Lots of transfers. Austin P also a bunch of transfers. Gibson was, they had a solid season last year for Austin P standards, but the problem with that is Butler always screws me. Nick knows this. Whenever I bet Butler, they screw me. If I don't back them, they just cover. So I'm laying off. I'll root with you guys. Go Butler, but if I had to put money on it, it'd be Austin P because I hate Butler.
Thad Mata and company, and hey, chat, make sure you throw your favorite game in there. We only have 10 over there on the left, but if you throw a game in where we'll start, we'll come back to it and to try and cover as many games as we can. But let's go to the next one. We got Grambling, Ole Miss. You guys know where I'm at. Lay it. This game's up to 23. I think last night we called it 21.5 or 22. I'm all over the Rebs. I think they put it on them. I am very bullish on Chris Beard in year number 2 with Mark Adams back there running the defense. I think they pull away win by 30. Nick?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this team is an offensive powerhouse. They brought in some good guards, Padula from Virginia Tech, Brown Jones from UNCG. There's a really good team. What killed them last year is defense, but I don't think that's going to really affect them in this game versus scrambling. We'll see that in conference play, so I'll lay the points.
Okay. Trev?
I kind of sway towards Grambling here. I want to bet Ole Miss so bad, but this line is just sitting here. I have enough respect for Grambling's guards and their size on the wings to kind of combat a little bit. They do have a big man down low. He's like 6'11", like 280 or something like that. He's gigantic. I think he could probably cause a little problem down there, but I'm not going to be betting this. Sway towards Grambling, but nothing for me in this one.
Little sway action, little cock
sway.
action. There you go. I'll tell you where else you could pull out your cock. That's over at Underdog Fantasy, baby. Get on over there, baby. First off, before you go and you cock over there at Underdog Fantasy, college basketball is back, bigger, better than ever. Subscribe to the college basketball experience every single night. Preview and pick show late in the night with Colby, myself, and Noah Beanick, and also the pregame show every single night, Monday through Friday. And also Colby will host a Saturday pregame show. You never know. We may do a Sunday brunch down the road, but TBD. If you guys like and subscribe enough, maybe we'll give you a little Sunday mimosa action, but you guys got to earn that. So get on over there, like, subscribe to the channel, help us help you grow the channel. It really helps the algorithm. Help us prevent corporate gambling from taking over today. And back to our cock conversation. That is Underdog Fantasy, baby. Get on over there. Use that promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code TCESGPN. You know the routine, guys. You guys build the entry for tonight. I put it in, and I'll make money off your picks. Thank you very much. Nick, you lead it off with the first leg.
I am going to take Donovan Dent over 20.5 points assists on New Mexico. I think he's a returning piece for New Mexico. He's obviously a great guard. He's a very good, passer. So I think he's going to get, 9, 10 assists, and I think he'll easily get us 10, 11 points. So I like Donovan Dent over 20.5 PA.
Okay. I like Dent. I like the Lobos tonight too. So I'm with you. Trevor?
Going DeJuan Harris over 5.5 assists. He went over 13 of 17 home games last year. Averaged 6.5 a game at home. And with Dickinson inside, I don't think UNC's got much to combat that. So I think he could probably dish a few off into him. Zeke Mayo on the side there, pop a couple shots. So I like DeJuan Harris over 5.5 assists tonight.
Higher than 5.5 assists. I like that. What'd you say the number was on Den again?
20.5 points and assists.
20.5 points assists. Sorry, I was putting on your Blue Devils in the background. They just tipped off against the Army Black Knights. So UMass Lowell and the Peacock, Stanford Cornell as well. DeJuan Harris higher than 5.5. Back to Nick for the next leg.
I actually really liked Con Knipple points that just tipped. It was 15.5. I think he's a sharpshooter from 3. I think he can just light it up. So I like Knipple over 15.5. But if you want me to find another one since that just tipped, I will gladly do so.
While you do that, Trevor, I know you got one. Yeah, they can't get in on that right now.
Yep.
That off with that. That's my bad.
No, that's my fault. It's my fault.
I'm going to go Philip Russell, VCU, over 3.5 assists here. He went over 13 of 22 last year at UT Arlington. He had 3+ in 18 of the 22. So he's at VCU now. He's got more shooters around him. I like him to be able to dish off 4 tonight against a Boston College team that's pretty depleted and brand new from last year.
They are banged up. So that's over 3.5 assists. Higher. I'm talking too much cock talk and gotta remember the lingo. Higher and lower at Underdog Fantasy. At CBB Dick.
All right, I'm going to take your boy Tucker DeVries over at West Virginia, over 2.5 threes attempted. In the season opener, he shot 9. He made 4 of them. We all know him, from last season, the season's prior. He's a great shooter, can make his own shot. He's going to light it up. So I like over 2.5 3-pointers.
Okay, so we got 4 legs there. That builds out to roughly 11-1, 12-1. Get on over there and use that promo code right above Nick's head. That way, that's where Nick is. TCE SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer. Underdog Fantasy, the best Underdog Fantasy promo code TCE SGPN. Game of the night, gentlemen. We go to the Fog. What is the updated line? Opened at 7.5. It's kind of stayed right there. Carolina was very underwhelming in their opener. Kansas kind of went through the motions, but still was able to beat Howard by 30. I just don't see how Carolina is going to match up with them. I know RJ Davis is a stud, but they got DeJuan Harrison to guard him. I don't see how they neutralize Dickinson and Adams in the post. I like a typical top 10 game at the Fog. I think Kansas blows them out by 20 plus.
Yeah, I'm with. Yep. All right, I'm with you. UNC doesn't have the size inside to really combat Dickinson. Losing Baycott, and they didn't really do much to change that around in the offseason there. I mean, RJ Davis, the dude shoots like crazy, and if he's going to have an off night, they're in a lot of trouble. We saw what Houston did last year when they went to the Fog. They ran out the damn gym. So, I mean, North Carolina struggled with Elon, and now you're going to go to Fog Allen on a Friday night nonetheless.
Oh, my God. This is going to be bonkers.
It's going to be crazy. So, I mean, good luck. I laid the 7.5 with Kansas. I did bet this one. I think it gets ugly. Probably a 15-point win for Kansas, to be honest.
You guys know my stance. I hope UNC gets murdered in the gym, so I'm laying the points with you guys. I want nothing more than for UNC to have a good season.
So 3 across on Kansas. I mean, I haven't heard one. Here's the one thing I will say. I have not heard one person take Carolina. What would be the path for Carolina? Make a shitload of threes, I guess?
Yeah, RJ Davis just catching fire and not letting the ball out of his hands. He's obviously their best player and he's their best scorer. So if he's having a night, he can definitely keep him in the game for sure. But he's going to have to go nuclear, I think.
I agree with you. They got to make at least 13 threes, I think, to even have a chance to win the game. Kansas just has a clear advantage inside. So this next game I love. I love this next game just from if you're a college basketball junkie, you know how good Furman and Belmont have been over the last decade, to be honest. I mean, what Casey Alexander taking over from Rick Byrd, NCAA, they've won an NCAA tournament game. Furman obviously has won an NCAA tournament game when they beat Virginia a couple years ago. I think Furman's roster is a little bit better. I take Furman. I think Furman's going to go into Nashville, get a big win. That is a hard place to play coming from an Austin P guy. Those private school pussies, they pack that thing in there. And they got a good little home court at Belmont. But beautiful women on that campus, I may add. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm on Furman, the other private school. Let's go.
I'm with you. I think these are both very good teams, very good programs that have just been a staple of college basketball that, if you're guys like us, you watch them a ton. And like you said, I think they're both programs love guard play. They love getting good guards that can shoot the ball and they can run up the score. So I'm actually on the over 157.5 here. I think it's going to be a close game. I didn't really sway aside in the game, but I do like the points. I like it to be a high scoring game. So I like the over.
Good job.
Yeah, caught myself.
Caught himself. I'm with you guys, Furman. They got the size advantage down low. I mean, they won by 60. Neither team played anybody for game one, but Furman won by 62. Shot 63% from the floor versus 51% for Belmont. They also Furman forced 17 turnovers too, so they were pretty active. The problem with Furman though was they shot 61% from the line versus 82 or 88 for Belmont. So if this comes down to a free throw game, Furman might be in a little bit of trouble there unless they improved. But I mean, if Furman's going to be grabbing more boards and keeping them off the second chance opportunities with that size, Furman should just win this game outright.
This is a great coaching matchup too. Bob Ritchie, Casey Alexander, 2 rising stars in this industry that I think will be high major coaches. Army Black Knights are only down 1 right now, Nick. So let's go Army, baby. Keep it close. It's Veterans Day. You know they can't run it up against Coach K's alma mater.
You
Next
see the
up,
big score though? IUPUI is up on Xavier by 5.
IU Indy's a dynasty. All they had to do was just change their name, and clearly. So, why the hell did Noah Beanick put this game on the slate? Mount St. Mary's versus
idea.
Maryland. Maryland's laying 24.5. Give me Donnie Lynn and the Mountaineers, baby. I'm a Mountaineer. I'm not taking the Terps. Little brother angle. I don't know what I'm getting with this Maryland team. I know they looked good the other night against Manhattan. They blew it open, but they prove it to me you can do it back-to-back times, in my opinion.
Yeah, they also like somehow shot like shit from 3 against Manhattan.
Yeah.
They shot 21%. So this is a really big spread. I don't think Mount St. Mary's is anything that pops off the page and like you're wanting to run to the book to bet them. But I mean, that spread is just so big that I'll take Mount St. Mary's too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess just lay it with Maryland. I mean, their defense and size inside should just close down a bunch of scoring for Mount St. Mary's. But I mean, all I really had in this game was Derek Queen, and they're going to feast inside. That was about it. I mean, I don't got much on this one. But Derek Queen is legit. He looked really damn good in that opening game. A lot of the freshmen in the Big Ten did look good. So I guess I would lay it with Maryland, maybe a St. Mary's team total under, but I really don't got much for this one.
Okay. Chat, we'll come back to you guys. Throw a game that you want us to talk about, break it down. Let's go over to the Sun Devils versus the Broncos. This game is in Las Vegas. It's part of a doubleheader. This line's up to 6 now. All right, too much love for the Broncos. I know they had a great standalone win, and we see this trend all the time. Team gets a nice standalone win, everybody falls in love with them. I'm taking the Sun Devils. I think the Sun Devils are live to win the game. I think their speed can give Santa Clara some fits. I know Santa Clara's got good size, but Arizona State's still good athletes. Bobby Hurley, they got to win this game because they got Gonzaga on deck in Grand Canyon. So give me the Sun Devils plus the 6. Nick?
Yeah, I'm disagreeing with you here. I took Santa Clara last night when it was 3.5. It scares me a bit that it's up to 6, but I don't know how to feel about this Arizona State team. Like, I think they have some talent there, but I feel like Hurley just can't get these guys to do anything. Santa Clara got to the line against St. Louis. They shot the 3 pretty well, which I think we kind of expected them to do because they always just have some sharpshooters on that team that we hear about, 4 months from now that they're going to be drafted in the first round in the NBA because Sednek gets them going. So yeah, I'm going to lay the 3.5. I can't trust Arizona State yet. I got to see it.
Yeah, I'm with Nick. Not Mount St. Mary's what I'm talking about. Santa Clara here. It is on a neutral, but I don't really care. I mean, ASU lost the offensive glass battle to who did they play? Idaho State the other night by 8, and they shot 36% from the floor. I mean, they eked it up by 7, and Idaho State shot 25% from the floor. I mean, if Berzovic and whoever the guards just make some shots, I think this could probably just be no problem for Santa Clara here. I don't believe in this Arizona State team. They are dookie. They're going to be, I feel like they might kind of be like last year's Louisville team, just not really stand a chance in a lot of these games this year.
Yeah, them moving to the Big 12 wasn't an ideal year with this roster that they need to go to the WCC or some shit. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Next up, no, why'd you put this game on here? NJIT versus Villanova. Villanova's laying 23. I mean, I said this last night. It opened at 21. If Villanova has any pride in their work of just playing basketball, having a good culture and a good program, they win this game by 40 after the way they were embarrassed the other night. However, I don't trust Kyle Neptune. So it's honestly a stay away for me. I probably, if you put a gun to my head, I would lay it. But I'm not putting any more dollars right now on Kyle Neptune until I see some progress. I mean, Dixon went for fucking 35, and they still lost by double digits to Columbia. Good Lord. Nick, where you go?
I'm almost in the same exact boat. Like, I would hope that if Nova cares about their team and cares about basketball, that they would blow NJIT out of the fucking gym like they should. But I don't know, man. It seems like Neptune, I don't know. Like, the post game presser was weird. Like, they lost, and he's just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is. Like, it happens. And it's like, you don't say that if you're Villanova losing by 10 to Columbia. Like, you got to be fired the fuck up and get these guys, pissed off. So I don't know. Like you said, I think, if I'm, gun to my head, I'd lay it, but don't even want to think about this game.
I actually bet NJIT plus 22.5. I did.
There you go.
Villanova's been in this spot all last year. They're supposed to bounce back after a loss, and they suck. Neptune sucks. He's terrible. I don't believe in him. And that was just, I was not shocked by them losing to Columbia. I mean, Neptune's got to go, and they just won't fire him. I don't know what it is. The NJIT had a 17-point lead on Penn the other night and blew it by one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was brutal. But, I mean, if they, don't give 30 free throw attempts to Nova here, I think they've got enough size inside to kind of fight along with them. I think they can keep this within 15 points here, 20 points at the most. I don't see how Villanova just blows someone out the gym behind Neptune. He just doesn't have that killer instinct. And they've been in this situation, like I said, all last year, off a loss. They should bounce back, and they don't. So I got no faith in them. Let's go NJIT. Let's go Nerds.
Let's go, baby. Can you imagine if they lose to NJIT? He may not.
Man, I'll be so mad I didn't grab money line.
They gotta just not let him back. They can't let him back in the facility if they lose this game.
By the way,
halftime they gotta can him, but they won't.
By the way, guys, speaking of Big East teams, what is up with all the Big East teams struggling in these bye games? Xavier is down to IU Indy right now by 5 to start the game. We just talked about it. Villanova losing the other night. DePaul, although they had a great win for me last night, it made me look like a genius laying 15 with DePaul. The words will never come out of my mouth ever again. Creighton looked like shit. I mean, Kalkbrenner went for 50, and they barely beat the Mexicans. I mean, what's your take on the Big East so far? It's been ass.
I don't know. I think maybe some of these top dogs, like especially, I mean, UConn obviously won by 36 against Sacred Heart the other day.
Yeah.
But like maybe they're, the target's on their back, like these big teams, especially like UConn, Creighton, like these guys have championship aspirations. So when these little teams come to town, like they got this game circled, they're getting hyped up. They're excited. They want to show out. Cause if you have a good game versus these guys, like when you go back and play in the fucking MEAC or the MAAC, like you're fucking like, dude, we could shit on these kids. We just, kept it within 10, 20, 15 versus UConn, whatever. So I don't know. I think it's just a target on their back. They got a ton of film on all the guys. So their coaches are getting them ready for these games, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They're just not up and ready for these games. Clearly. I mean, there's no excuse why they shouldn't be blowing out these teams. I mean, you're the Big East, for Christ's sake. You should just be bodying these teams, but they're not. They're just letting them hang around. They're kind of just going through the motions early. So maybe it'll take a few games for them to kind of get their shit underneath them, but they're just kind of going through the motions early.
I see Clark in the chat. Don't sleep on Georgetown. They might be able to sneak into the top half of this fucking league with what I've seen so far. Outside of what? UConn, St. John's, and Marquette, everybody else has looked very, very vulnerable. So we'll see if who gets better in a very rich coaches league. Harvard Navy. This game is at Navy. It's part of that doubleheader with VCU and Boston College. Navy's laying 2 now. I like Navy. I think that they're a better team under DeChellis. I have been a skeptic of Harvard for about the last 3-4 years. But yeah, let's go midshipman at home.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have bet this Harvard team a couple times, and I just want to kill myself every time. I just don't think they're very good. I think Navy has a lot of returning guys, a lot of older guys too that can give them some good minutes. So they'll have the interior attack. So yeah, I like laying it 2 with Navy as well.
Yeah, I like Navy here too. I mean, they dominated the offensive glass last game, but the problem was they fouled so much that they just gave away free points at the line the whole night. They won 14-5 on the glass, where Harvard got out rebounded by 7 on the offensive glass to Marist. If Navy isn't going to foul and send them to the line 20 times, they should be able to get this done. But I mean, Harvard did shoot 62.5% from the field last game. So I mean, is that really going to continue again? Is the problem? But I would sway Navy in this one.
Good words. Good cock over there. Montana, Oregon. Oregon, this one came up a lot. I think we picked it last night at 14.5. I didn't bet it. I would take Montana. There's a lot of new faces in this Oregon program. I had Montana in my top 3 out there in the Big West. I would take the points, but I don't. This isn't a strong feeling here.
Yeah, I'm opposite. I actually would lay with Oregon. Like you said, it is some new faces, but the pieces that they brought in with Bamba and Angel from Stanford are sharpshooters. This whole roster can shoot from 3. I think they're a high-scoring team, and I know it's kind of a, obviously not a conference game, but they're moving over to the Big Ten. I think this is a good, spot to just beat up on Montana. Obviously, Montana is a good team. I just think the guard play and the 3-point shooting from Oregon is going to be too much for Montana to keep up with.
I would have played Montana in this one. I kind of like the over, to be honest. I mean, both scored 90 plus their last game, and Oregon gave up 76 to Riverside in the last game. I mean, Montana brought in this D2 kid that dropped 27 last game. I mean,
I saw that.
Yeah, Kai Johnson, I think his name was, dropping 27. So I mean, he got 30% of their points. And Oregon last game, they gave up 76, but who did they play? Whoever they played, they went 4 of 22 from 3, and they still gave
Riverside.
up 76. Riverside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they hit 4 of 22 from 3, and they still put up 76. I think there's going to be points in this one, and I would take Montana with the points if I was going to pick a side in this one. I may actually fire on this over because it is a later game, so got to have a little late night sweat going into the night show.
Dude, the late night window is nice.
It's really good. Yeah.
I was looking at it, I was like, damn, if we're going to get good 11 o'clock games like this, 11 o'clock Eastern, I mean, you got Irvine versus Loyola Marymount. You got Weber against Oregon State. Bradley Wazoo. I mean, come on.
That game rocks.
This game rocks too. I know.
Yep.
I wish it was in either Westwood or actually, I really wish it was at the Pit. I wish UCLA was going to the Pit. That place would be on fucking fire. So it's in Vegas. I think I think New Mexico's a play-up team, man. I think that they got really good players. They get caught sleeping at the wheel sometimes. We see it in Mountain West play all the time where they get up for the big ones and then they'll drop an Air Force game or they'll drop to who else is in that league that's down? Fresno, some random ass game, but they're always really good against the top tier teams. I like Dent, like Nick alluded to early in the show. I think New Mexico is going to win the game. So I love that getting this numbers come down from 6.5 to 4.5 now. I'd still like it at 4.5. I got the Lobos outright tonight, baby. Let's go. Nick?
Yeah. Go ahead, Trev. Go ahead.
Oh, nope. Go for it, Nick.
I really kind of like the total in this one. Like I mentioned before, like UNM has a ton of good guards. I think they'll be able to distribute the ball really well. And their big man down low is really good for a double-double. I would expect almost every game this year. The problem, like you alluded to, is Mountain West teams, especially away from home, can struggle. I know it's a neutral, so it's not really, a true road game. I just don't really know how they'll do not being at home. I like the over here in the game. But yeah, with that number coming down, I think I'd still rather side with New Mexico than UCLA. But the total is definitely one that I'm eyeing up to for the over.
Yeah. I mean, New Mexico lost Jalen House and Mashburn the offseason, which on paper just looks like a big loss, but I think it might actually help. I mean, Donovan Dent's going to have the ball in his hand now. I mean, he's a great scorer. He can facilitate that. They still got Nelly Jr. Joseph and Amzil running around down there too. I think maybe this season they might play a tad slower. Just, they don't have House and Mashburn running around, but this total's 152.5. I kind of feels like they're just going to play a little bit of tempo like they did last year and make UCLA uncomfortable. UCLA doesn't want to run and gun with you. They want to slow it down, play defense, force some turnovers. I think New Mexico is actually live in this one too. I'm with you. I mean, high total, which you wouldn't expect normally from a UCLA team. But UCLA's got 3 of their 4 top scorers back as well. UCLA didn't really shoot great from the line the last game, but they only shot 12 of them. So, I mean, we really can't take a big sample size off that. But, I mean, getting 4 with New Mexico right now, 170 on the money line, that's kind of tempting to play that money line there with the over.
I like it. A little parlay there. And I'll tell you who else loves the Lobos tonight. That's Rhythm. The model loves the Lobos. I think it's like one of their favorite plays of the night. So get on over there and use Rhythm. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. If you want to bet on the Lobos, get on over there to BetUS. We're brought to you by BetUS. Easy to depositable with cryptocurrency. Fast lightning payouts. Everybody's welcome. Lobos over there, +4.5 right now. Get on over there, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetUS. Promo code SGPN so that they know we sent you, America's favorite sports book. All right. Shout out to the chat. I got a couple of you guys starred up here. It's rapid fire. Davidson, Bowling Green. I like Bowling Green at home. Home dog for me here. You guys?
I'm on Bowling Green as well. I like them.
Yeah, I'd lean Bowling Green too.
Yeah, it went up to 5.5. So, yep.
That's all right.
Or sorry, I'd sway Bowling Green too. I mean, those 5.5 lines are always weird, especially for road favorites. We saw it with Delaware last night. I mean, they just kept shooting themselves in the foot and won by 5. So those weird 5.5 lines, I generally just take the dog. But no play in this one. But I would definitely sway Bowling Green if I had to take a side here.
This game has not moved. Mason, Marquette, that thing's been frozen at 12.5. I'm on the Patriots. I like Mason to be a little bit live in this game. I think we get a hell of a game. 5-6 point win probably for Marquette. I like the Mason speed and veterans and their guard. So give me the Patriots here getting 12.5.
This was a tough one for me. I looked at it for a while too, and like you said, it hasn't moved.
It hasn't moved at all.
That makes me want to go with George Mason as well. Like it's just weird to me that it hasn't moved. That like the public isn't running to either to just slam Marquette and make it move, or either they have and the books just aren't moving it. So yeah, I would sway with George Mason as well.
Yeah, same here. On my model, I got 9 points for this game, but I mean, Mason's guard should be able to kind of somewhat contain Cam Jones or at least keep up with him scoring wise. So I would take the points. I mean, it is really low. It opened at 11.5. I was like, why is this so low? Marquette should be able to just run him out the gym, but just kind of makes you think that George Mason's going to hang in there. I mean, they played pretty well their first game. They played great defense. So maybe the defense shows up again tonight and kind of, they keep it within 9-10 points.
I agree. Palmetto State, Gamecocks, Bulldogs. A little action here at Colonial Life Arena. I laid it. I got the bounce back spot for the Gamecocks, Nick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd lay it too. The only thing that plagued me last year with South Carolina was their free throw shooting. I swear I bet them like 3-4 times, and they shot like 40% from the free throw line. So as long as they can fix that, I will continue to back them.
Make your free throws.
Yeah, I'd lean South Carolina here too. This big spread kind of feels like a bounce back. And I believe it went up too. It was at like 17 or something like that too. So it's moved up. I think they probably just run them out the gym, to be honest. I know there's a little brother angle, but at some point, some of these teams just actually give a shit when they lose and show up the next day, unlike Kyle Neptune and Nova.
I got a live dog here. Weber goes to Corvallis, wins outright with that veteran roster. Oregon State's not very good. This is a great money line dog. One of my favorite plays is them getting 6.
Yeah, Pope's gone too for Oregon State. I mean, he was huge for him last year. Now he's gone. And Tinkle is not that great. I think Weaver probably tinkles all over him on his home floor here tonight. And I believe it's just sat at 6. It may be down to 5.5. But yeah, I honestly may just fire again another late window banger. So I may have to fire on Weaver State later tonight.
Yep, I'll ride with you guys.
I see somebody asking about Temple. They already started.
Yes, they're up 12, 35-23.
Line went from 1.5 to 6.5, and they're up 12. The Temple shenanigans continues.
I took him again. I'm with them.
Dude, I that line rigged, and I'm like, I'm not taking a stinky ass Temple line. After that shit last year, I'll just stay away from that damn game. Bama Bama, Arkansas State. Shout out to Jeff Sharp, loyal listener to College Experience. I took Arkansas State because Hodgson coach for Nate Oates. They're really good friends. They're getting 25 now. I think that this is a shootout. I think both teams score a shitload of points. It's 170.5 on the total.
Jesus
My Lord.
Christ. Yeah. I know that's SpongeBob to play the over, but I really liked it too. And if I had to pick a side, I'd go with Arkansas State too. I think they're actually really good. I think they're definitely a contender for their conference to win it. So I think they're a good team. And like you said, under Nate Oates, the coach moving over. So, maybe Nate won't run it up on him too hard at the end. So, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Arkansas State plays at a lightning fast pace too, so they should just be able to keep up and down the floor with them all game here. I was listening to Gene Unit's podcast this morning, and he said on the Arkansas State bus on the way to Alabama, they pulled over on the highway, and the coach had to replace one of the belts himself so that they could actually get going and actually make it there. So, I mean, I was going to bet Alabama, and then you mentioned it last night on the program that Arkansas State's coach was his former assistant. So I was like, well, I'm not going to lay it with Bama because 22 kind of seemed a little low. But again, Arkansas State does run and gun themselves. They had like 82 possessions last game. So I honestly would maybe play the over 170. I mean, Alabama's going to score 100 points. Arkansas State can get into the 70s. I don't think this is really too terrible to get there.
The only reason this line is so high is just because there's going to be so many possessions. It's not because Arkansas – the line for a team of this quality should be around 16 to 18, I think. But just with how chaotic the pace is going to be, 25 is a lot of points. And then Bama just covers every game in these situations, except last year against Arkansas State. BYU's laying 20 – what are they laying now, guys?
I think it was 21 I saw.
22 now. I'm on Riverside. Riverside's got vets, man. I mean, I know it's in Provo. It's a tough-ass place, elevation, all that stuff. But, yeah, give me the points.
Yeah, I think 22 is just a tad bit too high. I think BYU is going to be rocking, and they're a really good team, and I'm excited to watch them play throughout the season. But, yeah, I think 22 is just a step too high.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Riverside go to Oregon and hang in by 15. So I know BYU is a whole different animal than Oregon early in the season. But, I mean, I feel like BYU, that first game was a big get-up game, first game for the new coach, wanted to show out, let the boys roll. I think UC Riverside can probably hang in this one within 20 at least.
Okay. Daquan wants to know Kansas 4.5 first half or not 9. Shop around. There's 7.5s out there, Daquan. I would take. I would just lay the 7.5. I think they blow it open in the second half. I don't know if I'd take that 4.5. Carolina may come out. They didn't play well. They may come out locked in a little bit with the sense of urgency at the Fog. But I just think Kansas too much in the second half.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I think you just look around, find that better number. There's definitely still 7.5 hanging out there, and I would take the full game.
And
Kansas is gonna blow it open on them at some point. I mean, again, Houston ran out the damn gym last year, so this North Carolina roster doesn't stack up anywhere near that Houston team, so it's gonna get ugly in the second half, I think.
Any takes on this game? Lay it.
Yeah.
I may bet this, man. Like, dude, St. Francis is terrible.
They're really
Didn't
bad.
they just get demoted to D2 this year too?
Yeah, I'll add Clemson to my card here tonight.
Yeah, just lay
they
like
got to
that.
smash.
Yeah, they're gonna win by 40.
It's up to 30 now too.
Oh yeah. Princeton, Duquesne. Duquesne getting 5.5 games in New Jersey. I thought the line stunk a little bit. I took Duquesne. Not a strong conviction from me though.
Yeah, again, it's just like if it was a 1 possession game, 3.5, like I would rather go with Princeton. But now that it's ticked up to 5.5, 6, like Duquesne is a good team, man, and I think they can stick within 2 possessions. So yeah, I would rather side with Duquesne on this one.
The Dukes.
Yep, same. I'm with you guys. I mean, Xavier Lee can only do so much for Princeton to help them out and keep them in games. So I would lean or sway Duquesne here also.
Final one, Jeff Matthews S. Virginia Tech, Upstate. This line came up, didn't it? Yeah. I hope you got Tech minus 20.5 on Cent. They're at 24. I think they're going to kill. I think they're going to blow Upstate out. And I talked about this angle too. Texas and Ole Miss fit this bill too. College football Saturdays, they get an unbelievable crowd on Friday nights because people are coming in for the weekend. It's another thing to do. I think all three of those places get really good crowds for just a buy game, generic buy game, and I think they just drill these teams in the buy game. So yeah, I'll lay it with the Hokies. I'd still lay it at 24.
Yeah, I mean the Castle gets rocking too. So Upstate's they're just here for a paycheck. They're not going to do anything this game. They're going to get run out the damn gym.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be catching 24 with Upstate here.
No, you don't ever just want to be Upstate altogether. Favorite bet on the board, guys. Mine was the Jayhawks last night. If I had to give out another one, I really like Weber. Late night dog action.
One that I locked in earlier, I think it has ticked up a bit. Let me check what it is, but it is the Northern Colorado over. I grabbed it last night at 148.5. Yeah, it's ticked up to like 152. I still wouldn't be scared to take it. Northern Colorado is a team I watched a ton last season because the Big Sky is such a mess of a conference and they're all really bad. But Northern Colorado was one that I watched because they played at such a high tempo. So they were ones that kind of fit my system of like, the fast teams versus slow teams over kind of thing. So I watch a lot. Colorado obviously lost a ton of players to the NBA, but I think they rebuilt and still have some great players on that squad. So I like the over in that one.
My favorite bet's Cincinnati's team total. I got 84.5. It's 85.5 right now, juice. But Morehead State got destroyed by Louisville. They turned it over 20 times. Louisville shot like 47% or something from the floor and still put up 93 on them. Cincinnati's got shooters. They play great defense. They can force these turnovers. I think they probably, put up 90 at least in this one. So Cincinnati over 84.5 was my favorite. Otherwise, it would probably be Fresno. I got minus 6.5 on that. I think they're just way too quick and athletic with the guys they brought in for the Sacramento State big men to kind of run up and down the floor and force them to change the way they play a little bit.
All right. Sorry. Games started games have already started. Just running through the scores real quick. Butler's up 3, 10-7. Xavier battled back. They're up 5 on IUP. Cornell just went in front of Stanford. Man, Stanford was up 10 early. Now they're down 8. Penn State's up 13 on UMBC. Lowell's up 4 on the Peacocks. The Blue Devils are blowing it open now, Nick. They're up 23 in the first half. Let's give out a money line dog parlay. I think we should start. I'm going to start adding this. Your favorite money line dog, Nick, and we'll put it in a parlay together.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I will take Fort Wayne. They are 11. They're 11-point dogs going into Orlando at UCF. UCF obviously coming off that huge win against Texas A&M, where they just had a great final few minutes and got that outright dub. So I'm going to take Fort Wayne. Us, we love the fucking Horizon League. I was all over this team last season. I think they're really good again this season. I think they can put up a lot of points, actually. So I know UCF kind of relies on their defense, but I think they're definitely live in this game. So I like Fort Wayne.
I love that one. I locked them last night too. So plus 470. Trevor, what's your favorite one?
I was gonna say, Furman. That's a little yapper.
It is a yap.
If I gotta pick one, let's go. Man, you know what? I'm just gonna pansy out. We're gonna go Furman in this one. Give me the plus 130.
That's fine.
I think they, they'll be able to get it done. I mean, they got the size advantage, so I think they'll be able to control the glass and keep Belmont out from scoring.
And then for the third leg, I'll add Weber, Wildcat. So we'll go plus, where are they at? They play at 10 o'clock. Scrolling down. There they are. Plus 190. Oh, this line came down. There we go. Our parlay for Wayne, Furman, Weber is 36-1. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to add that to my card tonight,
Good
gents.
value.
All right, guys, 15 minutes till the 7 o'clock window tips off. Kansas, Carolina, West Virginia, UMass, bunch of other really good games all night long. We'll be back later tonight. Me, Colby, and Noah breaking down Saturday's slate. You guys can find Trevor at Stooley Picks. You can find Nick at CBB Nick. They are the Pump Fake Pod. They'll be here all year long. Any last words, gents?
Let's have a night, boys. We got a loaded slate. Let's build the bankroll, roll it over to some games tomorrow. So yeah, let's get some dubs. Yeah,
just catch some winners. I mean, a huge day tomorrow. College football, college basketball. It's gonna be a packed day tomorrow.
Indeed. It's gonna be a hell of a weekend. Subscribe to the College Experience. We'll be back here in a couple hours. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.